And on the bed, we see Peter Parker's old Spider-Man suit that he wore throughout the whole movie, that he left there to incriminate Miles. I know, it's a dark ending, I know it. Let's play a fun game. You today are the Marvel executives, okay? And you hire me to pitch you MCU Spider-Man 4. But let's make it even more interesting. If you're unhooked by the synopsis, you can leave. You can leave the video, okay? But if you are, stay until the end because it will shock you. I'm also going to reveal the title of the movie towards the end. One of the aspects that we have explored in previous Spider-Man movies is Peter Parker's poverty. But we have never seen how this actually can affect his superhero life, like buying the chemicals to make his sweat fluid or repairing his suit, all those things that make him Spider-Man. To get paid and fund his superhero life, Peter Parker must, ironically, incriminate Spider-Man in his job, risking everything to stop Black Cat, New York's biggest threat. The last 3 Spider-Man movies, the MCU Spider-Man movies, were all very different from something that we have seen before. They always try to reinvent themselves and keep the freshness. Like the first one, he was in school the entire time, the second one he was in Europe, and the third one, the multiversal shit. But this time around, like every fan wants for Spider-Man 4, this is a classical Spider-Man story, where Peter Parker as a Spider-Man must stop a villain who is trying to steal some things that obviously is a threat to New York and whatever, and that's it. There's not a superhero or a character from Avengers trying to help him. He's alone in this world and he's trying to keep together his personal life with a superhero life. But at the same time, it takes a lot of risks. One of the biggest ones is that ordinary citizens and police officers are gaining Spidey powers, like all of a sudden with super strength and just like shooting webs around New York. That shit happens here and it's kind of weird. Also, the villain Black Cat is not just the criminal of the movie and the villain of the movie, it's also the love interest. And we follow her a lot, like a second protagonist even. She's someone we follow, we understand, and we root for her, even though she's going against our main protagonist Peter's wishes. Let's talk about the characters. Peter Parker. After the events of No Way Home, Peter Parker becomes a scientific YouTuber. That's how he pays his rent, his food. He's obviously balancing his superhero life with college, with work. But after a Spider-Man video, he's called to the Daily Bugle and they offer him a job. And his job is basically just take videos incriminating Spider-Man and taking information and making interviews to different people in New York about Spider-Man, that people that don't like him. But he's competing with McCargan, yeah, that McCargan from the comics who now works for Daily Bugle in this universe. Whoever finds out Spider-Man's true identity and his address gets a bonus from JJ. So obviously Peter is like, how in the hell I'm gonna get that bonus if I have to find out my own identity? I love that Kaylee Spaney plays Black Cat. I think she can bring that badassery to the character and also be very cute as Felicia Hardy. Her character past is actually very interesting. She ran away home after finding out that her father was a criminal. And guess who is her father? Adrian Toomes, the Vulture. He is her father. He has 2 daughters actually, Liz and Felicia. It's interesting that she left home because of that, but now she's a master criminal. Why? Her father is now behind bars and her mom actually has cancer. That's the only way that she can pay her mom's bills, which is a very interesting backstory to her character. Someone who didn't like her father and even ran away because of that, but now she understands her father. Also, this is Miles Morales' MCU introduction. Peter Parker goes to his home and tutors him in math. So that's how they meet. Kingpin is also in this movie, not that much, but he basically is Black Cat's boss. So the current conflict is that Spider-Man is saving people, doing Spider-Man stuff, but the city basically hates him. After the events of No Way Home and the push of the media, people are not in love with our hero. And obviously Felicia Hardy is doing all these tasks for Fisk to gain money. Felicia and Peter's relationship is very interesting. They know each other as Peter and Fee, and obviously they like each other. They're very cute with one another. There's even a point that they even want to live together, and they do for one night. But Black Cat and Spider-Man is another story. Black Cat, what's interesting is that she, at the start of the movie, she gets the black goo of the symbiote. It's basically the first thing that she's stealing. She's actually White Cat before she steals that goo, and then she becomes Black Cat. Yeah, I know I'm altering a lot of the comic book stuff, but that's the point. We need something new. Like I said, we need a classical Spider-Man story, but we need to surprise people. So the black goo, the symbiote, is attached to her. That's how she becomes powerful. And there's even this point that is very interesting. She's flirting with Spider-Man. She even kisses him. And that's very important for what happens later on in the story. Peter Parker is struggling to be an appropriate Spider-Man. Sometimes he can't shoot webs anymore because he doesn't have the fluid to pay. Sometimes his web shooters are damaged or his suit is damaged. So he has this opportunity from the Daily Bugle that he cannot refuse because he has to pay for that stuff. But at the same time, he is ruining Spider-Man's reputation. And the city is hating him even more after his job in the Daily Bugle. And so it creates this dilemma, like is he now happier? Is he now doing the job better? It really asks you a lot of questions of what would you do in that situation. Again, we have seen a lot of Spider-Man movies where he's struggling with personal life and superhero life, but we have never been in that stage of what's the best, what's the thing that you will do in this situation. Will we do the same thing that Spider-Man is doing? Also, he's getting very angry. He's getting voices in his head. He's getting a little bit selfish, which is very important for what happens later on in the story. After Peter suspects that Felicia is Black Cat, he follows her, he confirms that. Basically, he's trying to stop Felicia from hurting some people during an action sequence, but Miles stops him. Miles now becomes a Spider-Man. As a lot of people, all of a sudden, there's even this scene where he's at the police station. He sees a lot of criminals fighting with some police officers. Police officers are using a lot of force, and it's super force. And Peter's like, what the hell is going on? And it creates this intrigue throughout the whole movie. And what happened is that Felicia put a lot of spiders into the ventilation system. So the cops are the first who get infected by spiders, and then ordinary citizens like Miles Morales. Peter gets angry at Miles for trying to stop Felicia. But Felicia also fails, and she doesn't get the thing that Fisk needs, which leads to Fisk not paying what she needed to treat her mother. Her mother dies. And we have this funeral scene, we have all these moments where Peter and Fee are now about to leave Peter's apartment, and they both know now. They suspect a lot that, okay, he's a Spider-Man, and he's like, you are Black Cat. But they don't want to confront that as Peter and Fee. They just want to live their lives, but they can't, because Fee is angry at Fisk, at the city. Fisk is trying to make this kind of bomb that will cure everyone in New York, but she wants to stop that because she's angry, and also Fisk will win if he cures whole New York. So she's about to stop him, and Peter confronts Fisk. McCargan is getting very close to discover Spider-Man's true identity. He's spying on Peter's apartment all the time, he's following him, and Peter knows this. So it's very important. This detail is very important. Fisk makes an offer to Peter. If he stops Felicia, the bomb will cure everyone in the city. But then he drops a bombshell. After the kiss that Felicia as Black Cat gave to Spider-Man, he got infected with the black symbiote. And now he's vomiting in front of Fisk, and then the vomit, which is the symbiote, attaches to him, and he becomes Black Suit Spider-Man. But then he's like, okay, I need to fight her because I need to save New York. So the climactic fight is between Peter and Fee as their alter egos, knowing who is the other one. But Peter wins by taking all the symbiote out of her and just letting her go and saving New York. And the media shows him now as the new Spider-Man, the Spider-Man that has saved the city. Peter, fully corrupted, goes to Miles' house to tutor him in math. But at one point he asks to go to the bathroom, but secretly he sneaks into Miles' room. Days later, Peter is congratulated at the Daily Bugle by JJ because he found out Spider-Man's identity, he gave it away, and his address. McCargan is like, okay, I know you're a Spider-Man, I know it. This thing that you are showing is bullshit. So what happened? We cut to Miles at night. Police raid his home. He gets arrested in front of his father, who is a police officer. Peter is watching from a distance, The final shot of the movie is the camera dolling in on Miles' room, and on the bed we see Peter Parker's old Spider-Man suit that he wore throughout the whole movie, that he left there to incriminate Miles. I know, it's a dark ending, I know it, but this is very interesting for the future. Obviously Miles is gonna appear in future Spider-Man movies, he's gonna get out of prison or something, and yeah, this is leading to Doomsday. Yeah, it's not like real life that the fourth Spider-Man movie is coming after Doomsday. Like in this fictionalized world where I am pitching the Spider-Man movie, this is coming before Doomsday, okay? So the black suit thing is leading towards Doomsday, and in Doomsday and Secret Wars we see Peter redeeming himself. And 5 can be about Peter like having PTSD of all the wrong things he did, and I don't know, like put Daredevil there and Kingpin as the main villain, whatever. So what's the title of the movie that I just told you? Spider-Man Home Kills Home. I think it's a fun name, but I also think it's a perfect name for what the story is about. Now I want to hear from you. Did you like the pitch? If you liked it, go into the comments and write approved. If you didn't like it, tell me, what can we improve about this story? Also in the description, I'm leaving you the link to the summary of the story so you can see the order of exact events and some scenes. It's not a script, but it's like a summary of the script. So you can see how the story develops in order. And yeah, if you like this type of video, I'm gonna do more. I'm planning to do a Star Wars Episode 9 rewrite. I rewrote that movie years ago and I want to tell you about it. Also, I made my own version of Avengers Doomsday. So one day I will pitch you those ideas. So again, thank you for watching and take care of your time.